pandemic perspectives is the topic we're going to be talking about today. In many ways, this pandemic changed us, whether it's for good or for the worse. Honestly, in my opinion, going to this topic, I think we have to gain something positive rather than gain something negative out of this. And it's all about perspective. Literally, pandemic perspective is a topic. Thinking about and changing our attitudes and mindsets towards this whole situation. Rather than thinking something bad happened, try to take the good things out of it. Be more positive about things and more optimistic. Okay guys, we'll be going into 4 different sources. One is a video, one is an excerpt from the Pope, and then we'll be going into one that's an article, and then another one that's a quote from 2 different art pieces that a person showed us. Alright, so let's start off with the video. So with these videos, we'll be going into depth with both its message, the sentiments, and how each video and each source correlates with one another and what are the similarities. Great realization, hindsight 2020. That specifically taught us what our society was before. It was corrupt, even promoted just consumerism as a whole and all the isms. And in that way, it really showed us that what we were from the past and before the pandemic was much more different and in a way negatively impacting us, even though as a society we thought it would benefit us, with our economy in the long run, and definitely damaged us. So going to that, for the first half of the video, go into depth with the negative sides and just the overall situation that was happening before the pandemic, and then the second half showed us that big difference between the generation from before and now, because of the fact that because of the pandemic and quarantine, we ended up spending more time together and as a whole get more intimate with our family and become more affectionate, not in the sexual way, but rather just the loving and caring that us humans need. Rather than focusing on communication through digitally, it helps us come closer with the family members through fun outdoors activities that we couldn't do. Of course, at the start we had to quarantine ourselves inside our house, but that promoted us with close quarters, family member type of activities that really brought us together. And the second source, it went with Pope Francis. Get involved with the journey. Fight for the things that are right and fight against those of the negative influences of the past. And you can definitely see from these 2 sources that Pope Francis really focused on creating new opportunities and making something anew out of this. And the first source, it really just showed us light, telling us that there are positives from this quarantine, not just negatives. And with the second source, they work in tandem because it shows us the good side, and then the second source shows us what we need to do in order to get something positive out of this whole experience. Third source, Brené Brown with her quotes and artwork. It focused on, like the second source with Pope Francis, to start a new journey, to grab onto new opportunities to change and better ourselves. And these 2 type of quotes and artworks, they both go well together because we really need to change ourselves and to better ourselves into choosing this new opportunity that we were given. It also went into depth with how both the second source and third source for Pope Francis and Brené Brown to not yearn for the past and fight against it. There was no normal in the past, quote Brené Brown. So we shouldn't go back to the past, but instead grow a new future. I think that's what we really need to focus on. The fourth source, David Suzuki's article, is COVID-19 an opportunity to change. And you know what? For him, it's a definite yes. There needs to be change. As seen right now, change is happening. And it's for the better, honestly. This really shows us that we as people are really taking change. That's good. Changing perspectives is one thing that he really focuses on. Not being able to go back to the past and go to the future is just a motif and theme that universally is seen throughout every article. And that we have to fight against consumerism and materialism and hoping and just going back to our old ways. The isms didn't work out. It destroyed our environment. Both our natural resources and everything else are being obliterated at a fast rate, and it's no hyperbole that this is all facts. Like, even look at Greta Thunberg. There's a reason why our generation is fighting against right now. It's because it's a real thing. We need to actually fight against these temptations that were happening in the past. And because of the quarantine that's happening right now, this is a new opportunity that God gave us to just change ourselves. So on to the second topic, we'll be focusing on how to alter our expectations and preconceptions of the future in order to better ourselves for the very future. So two things that we can really focus on is changing our habits of the isms, specifically consumerism, materialism, and everything in other isms. Like honestly, we really need to change our preconceptions, or in a way, we gotta change our attitudes and mindsets towards those. Of course, it's nice to benefit the economy and keep buying, but we definitely need to do it in moderation where it doesn't affect our resources, our natural resources. That's another thing. We need to step up on our usage. We really need to step up on the way we moderate our usage of our various resources. Because right now, a lot of things in the market take so much out of water, take so much out of trees and all of that is necessary for us to live. Cotton? Did you know cotton takes a lot of water to take? Like, I remember watching this video, it took over 50 gallons. 50 gallons of water just to create a small patch of cotton. It's insane thinking about that. So on to our third topic, some learned experiences of valuing and disvaluing that came from this whole quarantine. I think for me personally, the thing that really just created an extreme lesson for me was the fact that you really need to truly value your relationships and your overall opportunities that you get to live with on a daily life when it's going outside. It's really astonishing to show that you're privileged to go outside in a way. Privilege is kind of a harsh word in a way, but it's kind of crazy knowing that quarantine really restricted you and your family and your friends on whether or not you could go outside or not and hang out with them. Just doing something simple as just going to their place and having fun. There was such a huge restriction on that, and that really changed my attitude on things, on valuing so much on just basic human interaction with other people other than your family members. One thing that really brought light into my eyes is the fact that I really miss going to school, seeing my friends, and dancing, and doing all those fun club activities. I really miss doing those extracurriculars. It's funny thinking that at this moment right now, we're close to graduation. We're pretty much at the moment, if I recall, we're around OFSA season for track and field, and it's crazy thinking that OFSA pretty much already passed, and that really meant that the whole OFSA meant so much to me. For anyone that doesn't know, OFSA is the Ontario Federation Secondary Athletic Association, and it's pretty much one of the biggest conferences for sports in the world. I mean, in North America, I think it's the second largest, but sports is a very crucial part of my life. And besides the fact that I know I can just become a bookworm and just stay inside, there's also part of me that really is upset and disappointed and depressed at the fact that I can't go outside, play volleyball, I can't go outside, I can't do hurdles because of this. So in a way, I really value that experience from my past 3 years in high school. And because of the fact that high school and college competitions are way different, it's frustrating thinking that today and this year was my final year to enjoy myself in track, and it ended kind of quickly, and really shows to you that you have to value and take advantage of your experiences as a whole. Topic 4. Usage of new mindset to improve things that are to come in order to prevent falling back to the situation before the pandemic. So, one thing we have to remember is that we have to remember the past and what caused it. Because of the fact that a virus is really hard to contain, there wasn't really much we could do besides be informed, be careful about spreading the virus, and knowing that when this does happen, majority of our generation will know what to do now. And of course, it kind of sucks that we have to be quarantined again, but there wouldn't be as much hysteria when this does happen again. We also got to remember that the positives outweigh the negatives of the situational lifestyle and the only temporary lifestyle that we're gonna live at that current moment. The positives that we live now benefit our planet more. As you can tell, a lot of the environment is able to recover now, be more healthy. It also adds a bonus to us as we, as humans, improve our connections, become closer, like a more tight-knit community. We learn a lot of things from this whole experience, whether it be good or bad. We still learn a lesson. That's good for us. Well guys, I think this is going to be the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you like, subscribe, comment, and we'll be talking about more stuff maybe in the future. Maybe not something specifically about this, but definitely an interesting topic. Hope to see you again. Peace.